Hey guys, Kyle, the Death Knight of Anime here, bringing you my review for Eden Zero Chapter 80. And okay, so just jumping right in, I have to say that after reading this chapter, I want to know all the ins, outs, all the technicals, all the rules, whatnot, of how a Torture Addicts Anonymous meeting goes. I mean, on its face, it's already such a ridiculous concept in only the ways that Mashima can conceive. But at the same time, I am so intrigued and drawn in with a very morbid curiosity of just knowing how such a therapy session like that would operate under Mashima's rules. It's honestly kind of fascinating by how many avenues of both hilarious and wrong this can go. And part of that also because it would be hilarious if by some chance we see Garrett at one of these meetings too, but yeah, whatever. I don't know if Mashima's actually going to do anything with this. I don't know if Mashima's ever going to do anything with this concept. But the concept. I mean, I assume he would since he basically drew. I assume he would since he pretty much drew attention to it in the title of the chapter. But whatever he does with it, I'm here for it all the way. Cause oh man, the possibilities are endless with this one. They're like they really are just that damn endless and. The coin itself on its own is its own breed of ridiculous, obviously, but it's just, yeah, I can only assume Mashima is going to do something with this I can only assume Mashima is going to do something with this concept, but even if he doesn't, there's just that, there really is just that kind of morbid curiosity we're always going to have of like, how does this thing work? Please. How does this thing work? Like it's always gonna be, even if he doesn't tackle it, which again I assume he probably will considering the title, but there's always gonna be that curiosity to us where we're like, how does this work? This is so curious. This is such a morbidly curious thing that I'm like I must know more. I'm probably asking for something that's gonna break my brain, but I must know more about this. I must really freaking know more about this. This is like, uh, I, I think the only thing else I can say other than whatever a Tortures Anonymous meeting looks like, I think we can say with certainty it's probably better than anything in what the 50 Shades of Grey series had to offer. Just saying. uh, Okay, getting on a little bit more of a serious note, the fight between Sylph and Homura switches to a strip club, which, yeah, that in itself is funny, obviously, but the thing I want to focus on here is the fact that Sylph took the time to actually seal all of the patrons and employees of the club within her wind, and it's a small detail that I'm probably looking way too much into a lot more into than I probably should, but with Sylph doing this, in a way, it reveals a lot about Sylph on a ideological level, which is that she may be loyal. Sylph may be loyal to Drac and Joe, but she has enough honor, she has enough honor and enough honor and sympathy within her in order to not involve others in her fights or let others get in the crosshairs of who she's fighting. So, for as small as it is, it does show she has some measure of compassion, no matter how small it might be. But I doubt it's enough to say she's gonna pull a 180 on us unless something major happens. And honestly, even then, I think I'm probably looking way too much into it because what she probably did there was probably just more her pretty much saying that all these people are in my way and I can't and I can't operate freely without doing that. I can't operate my powers freely without doing with all these people in the way. But I guess even then it does kind of show a little bit of sympathy, I guess, even under that logic. Um, now as far as between what happened with Rebecca in this chapter and what Noah says at the end of it, I'm definitely getting the feeling that definitely getting a strong feeling that Rebecca's ether gear is more than likely going to go through some kind of evolution soon. And I think we already touched on this before, but I but I but I think it I think she's I think that evolution is probably going to involve her having a greater ability in order to like jump through time or something like that. Because yeah, I think we already covered that she can like jump through time, but I think it's probably going to evolve where she can jump through time at like greater distances or something like that. I don't know, but yeah. But in terms of in terms of I guess whatever her whatever evolution her ether gear does evolve into, I imagine it is still going to evolve in some way. And I'm hoping that when her ether gear does evolve, we'll finally be able to learn what the importance of this number 29 like title or business is. Because if there's one problem I'm having with these past couple chapters so far, is we've remained more or less very stagnant with that particular plot thread. But if I had to take a wild guess at this point, like pretty much until we get some kind of like official reveal of this, I'm still kind of on the human trafficking theory. But at the same time, just based on the dialogue in this chapter, it is sounding more and more like Prince Rebecca was almost experimented on or something like that. Like, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not, like, again, that's just another theory I have, is that she was experimented on or something. But whatever the case is, like, I just really want to explore a little more as to what this whole number 29 stuff is about. That's all that's the big thing for me right now. With that said, one thing I actually really like that I didn't think I would like, oddly enough, is that With that said, one thing I really like that I didn't think I would, but I surprisingly did, is that with this chapter, like, Shiki pretty much took a complete backseat to everything else that was going on. And yeah, again, I don't get me wrong, I like Shiki, but I do enjoy how with this chapter Mashima chose to put the fight with Jin pretty much on the back burner in order to focus on what I see as the more important, I guess, confrontations going on right now, like with no offense to the whole Shiki versus Jin thing, but that's the one that kind of has the least amount of consequences to it right now. Whereas with Rebecca versus Daichi and Homura versus Sylph, those carry a lot more weight to them, in the sense where Homura is fighting against the clock in order to get the medicine to Weiss, and with Rebecca, she's trying to save Bilia. So yeah, I'm just weirdly okay with this. I imagine next chapter we might get a little more focus on Shiki again, but yeah, I'm just happy for this chapter where he was barely even focused on. But yeah, guys, that's my review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Mr. Crunchyroll. Dead Knight of MMA, signing off. Later, guys.